Life is short, so go out there and explore all of the amazing options it has to offer. From food to culture to fun to shopping, I've tried the rest, so you get the best. Welcome to Beck's Best. On today's episode of Beck's Best, I bring you to one of the best cities in all of America with phenomenal views. None other than the legendary city of Hoboken, New Jersey. Directly across the Hudson River from Manhattan, if you've ever seen a shot of the New York City skyline, chances are they took that picture or they took that scene right here in Hoboken. I highly recommend you visiting this town if you are in the New York City area, and transportation to Hoboken is very easy. You can come by ferry, bus, taxi, or even take the PATH train. Some have called Hoboken New York's sixth borough because of how easy and efficiently you can get to Hoboken from downtown Manhattan. Literally will take you about 10 minutes. Come to these beautiful parks. There's always something happening in town. Walk around and enjoy yourself. Many famous people have come from Hoboken, but one of the most famous is Old Blue Eyes himself. Frank Sinatra, the legendary singer, was from Hoboken. Hoboken has tons of restaurants, parks right on the water, amazing places to just relax, enjoy, and take pictures. Please add this to your list if you're visiting New York City, because you cannot enjoy the view of New York from inside New York. You have to leave the city if you want to see the skyline. Hoboken was first settled as a part of the Pavonia, New Netherland colony in the 17th century. During the early 19th century, the city was developed by Colonel John Stevens, first as a resort and later as a residential neighborhood. Originally a part of Bergen Township and later North Bergen Township, it became a separate township in 1849 and was incorporated as a city in 1855. Hoboken is the location of the first recorded game of baseball and of the Stevens Institute of Technology, one of the oldest technological universities in the United States. If you're in Hoboken and you want to eat on a budget, you have to come to the legendary Benny Tudino's Pizzeria. I'm here at Benny Tudino's really early in the day because it gets really busy later. This is the home of the largest slice on the East Coast, and it's one of my favorite pizza places in the world. And I'm lucky because the people that own this place, they're basically like family. We're going to talk to my friend Eddie Drishti and maybe his brother Arben if he's around. But either way, the Drishti brothers, my good friends. Follow me. This is Beck Lover. I'm here with my buddy. Tell him your name.
Aslan.
Aslan. Don't mess with him, because he'll take you down. This is my Albanian comrade, my Albanian friend. He's been here for a long time. He's a part of the family. He's a part of the tradition here at Benny's. And every time I come in here, he never takes my money, even when my cousins don't know. Thank you.
Thank you, too.
Even when my cousins are not here, he doesn't take my money. I love this guy. I always come when my cousins are not here, so I get it for free.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you.
This is the way Beck's Best does it. You always have to have your Parmesan. Very nicely coated over it. Gotta have the garlic. It's good for your health and it tastes good. In Albanians, we put garlic on everything. A little red pepper, just for a little kick. Oregano is optional, but this is the way Beck Lever does it. I'm here with my good friend, basically family, known him most of my life. I knew the legendary Benny, King Benny, right? King Benny, King of Pizza. I'm here with one of his sons, Eddie Drishti. His oldest son, Eddie Drishti. Eddie, how you doing?
Smart son.
The other son is also named Arben, but we call him Benny. He's not here right now. He's a little camera shy. I'd like to thank you first and foremost as a member of law enforcement, especially in these times. Just like to say thank you for your service to you and all the officers out there. Stay safe, my buddy. Now, I love your pizza. It's not because you're family. You've been here 52 years. You don't survive 52 years in business because you're bad. Can you tell us a little bit of the history of how this establishment became so famous and so legendary?
Well, it was started by my mother and father, Albanian immigrants. They just got married in 68, March of 68. They moved from the Bronx to Hoboken. Actually, your grandfather also, God rest his soul, helped a little bit with purchasing, putting money down for this building, as my mother told me. And so my mother and father, they started working here together, and they built the place up. I think at that time they had me about 3 or 4 workers. My father would make the pizza. My mother would stay on the counter. We had another Albanian guy, Fezial guy, used to work in the back of the kitchen, and then sometimes my father would do the deliveries as well. He used to get the kids, the students. They used to hang out over here, and the high school kids. First it was the high school kids, they used to hang out here, and he'd make them make boxes or put soda in the refrigerator, and then he'd offer them a free slice of the soda for the barter system, for the work they did. And then there was a famous pizzeria across the street, was Gino's, and he had to try to make a name for himself. So Gino's used to close at 10, 11 o'clock at night, and my father said, you know what, let me stay open till 12, 1 o'clock. And by staying open till 12, 1 o'clock, slowly but surely, then the university students used to come here, Stevens. They used to come and...
Stevens Institute of Technology.
Correct. Top 5 engineering school in the United States.
Now, you grew up in Hoboken?
I was born and raised in Hoboken.
You like Frank Sinatra?
Who doesn't like Frank Sinatra?
But you like him.
We love him.
I love the name, by the way. It's very catchy. I never understood how the hell you got the name. I never knew that my grandfather had anything to do with this either, which is I just found out right now on the show. Was it always this big? Was the pizza always this big, or did this evolve and happen throughout time?
I think it evolved through the early 80s when my uncle Shpetem came around and started working here, and he had this type of pizza up in Jersey City. He used to have 4 brothers in Jersey City and Communipaw Avenue, and then they sold that, so he came over here to help his sister, my mom, and introduced the big pie. It probably started out like a 28-inch pie. We're up to 32 or 36, I forget.
Now this is your house pie, right?
This is the house pie. Sometimes you gotta put in a little small object, and people take pictures, and if you don't put something next to it to see the ginormity of it, people can... There you go.
And most people only buy 1 slice, right?
We've had it.
If they're coming in for themselves.
Yeah, 1 slice. I mean, right now there's no way you could eat cheaper than Benny's. We get families of 10 eating for less than $100. You get 2 house pies, it's $64, and then you get the sodas, and you got 16 slices there. And most kids and most people only have 1 slice. We've had people challenge, like we've offered to, if you could eat this whole pie within an hour, you could get it for free, and then you get like a Benny's T-shirt. Right?
Does that ever happen?
I think it happened only once. Only once.
You've had all kinds of celebrities, famous people. You had the guy that might become president. Joe Biden has 8 here. He came during, I guess, the Sandy relief.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, he came during the Sandy relief.
So, I mean, you've had all types of famous people walk through here. I mean, it's a part of the Hoboken fabric. I mean, it's not like you're just some pizzeria. I mean, anyone that thinks of Hoboken, thinks of pizza, they think of Benny's.
Yeah, I mean, we have Carlos, we have baseball, we have Frank Sinatra, but now we've become a Hoboken institution itself. I like to throw a shout out to my deli friends. Fiore's Deli is one of the oldest delis in Hoboken. Guy's got great roast beef. Yeah, you got to check it out. Great roast beef and mutts, especially on Saturday. Today, if you're lucky, go pass them around there. Hot roast beef and mutts.
In way. It's on the list, Beck's Best. But also, it's not just pizza. You guys have everything, man. You have amazing meatballs, you have pasta, you have everything. You're a full Italian restaurant / pizzeria. You have drinks, you have beers, you have everything.
Most people don't realize that we have an open bar. We have
Open bar. Yeah.
we have beer on draft. We have wine, sangria. You name it, we could run amok here.
Now, I used to work in Hoboken, you remember. I was younger back then. I wasn't making much money. You guys were always kind to me. For us, a lot of us that knew your father coming to Benny Tudino's, the pizza was good, but we came for Benny, man. We came for Uncle Benny. He'd sit you down there, teach you a lesson about life, give you an old school talk. So you'd walk in and, especially if he knew you, you'd come in, you'd get a slice of pizza, and this guy tell you a story about the old days. It was an experience. It wasn't just the food. And I think a lot of the success you had to do, not only with the food, it had to do with Uncle Benny and he made everyone feel like family, man.
Yeah, well, my father used to sit at the front booth over there, greet, like my mother too. My mother, both my parents, they became a staple of the community. One time was my mother, and the next time was my father. Meet and greet people and
sponsor teams, sponsor sports, soccer, football.
Constantly donate to the community. We give back to the community during Superstorm Sandy, during all these crises, even COVID right now. We have a COVID site. We send a couple of pies every week for the people that are working there. But my father always had a story, and he'd always give his life experiences to certain people. I had one guy told me, you know what? It was because of your father that I'm doing well during this pandemic now. I go, what do you mean? He goes, well, I always used to spend. He goes, he used to tell me, hey, take a little bit, put the money on the side. You never know, rainy day, you're gonna need that money, and don't always spend. He goes, and now, because of that advice, I've been able to get through this pandemic, and with my business still open and everything else, because I heeded his advice. He had a wealth. My father had about 5 lifetimes in his throughout his.
I agree, and I think what people need to understand is that this institution, this establishment, is a testament to the greatness of what this country has provided people. Man, you and I are the sons of people who fled communism, who left places in the world that other people think they understand what it means. And they have no idea the opportunities and the gifts this country's provided all of us. And, we live in one of those times where it's like people need to hear these stories. That's why Beck's Best is not just about the food, it's about the story. Your family came here with nothing, penniless refugees, escaping a brutal regime, and you were able to become a part of this community, and they've welcomed you with open arms. They love you. You're a part of Hoboken, man. They love you. And everyone knows when you got the munchies, it's late at night, you go to Benny's for a slice. I'm proud of you guys. You and Benny, our Ben, your brother, for you've done a great job of continuing the legacy, being a part of the community, keeping up the quality, and we feel Uncle Benny every time we walk. Every time you look, and you always have this hope that you're going to see him sitting in that booth. But I like to show them Uncle Benny's booth. It was always the first one. He always sat right there, and he'd always be waiting for you. Anything else that you want the people of the world to know about why they need to come here? Because I'm telling them they need to. You haven't been to Jersey if you haven't been to Benny's.
Listen, I don't want to say anything, but we get our produce from Brooklyn. So all those pizzerias in Brooklyn, we got the same produce that comes. That's where our stuff comes from, Brooklyn. So we could rival any New York pizza anytime as far as taste, quality.
The war has begun again. We thought there was peace between New York and New Jersey, but the pizza war has just begun.
My friend,
Thank you.
have a nice day. Enjoy your food.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. Good luck with the show.
Thank you.
Did he pay? I knew this was gonna cost me. This guy. Oh!
It's something. The Benny Tudinos have the best fried calamari. The tastiest linguine bolognese we have. And the best meatballs in the world. So, what do you like to eat?
Pizza!
Pizza for kids.
If you're looking for a fantastic Italian meal, Benny Tudino's. With our amazing menu of traditional Italian entrees and our world-famous award-winning pizza, there's truly something for everyone. Benny Tudino's, home of the largest slice.